Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome to your end of July 2024 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. I don't know why, but I felt compelled to do your sign. I don't always do it, um, one of the first ones, but yeah. Wow. Yep. You know what card this is? Our favorite, the Tower. Now, one thing I want to say first and foremost is lots of major arcana action here, 3 out of the 6. Major arcana are less than the minor arcana. So, I mean, by a lot. So, I definitely get a feeling. I honestly, when I do these readings, it feels kind of grandiose sometimes. I feel like maybe because my sun is in Sagittarius, it's kind of this expansive, exaggerated kind of energy that I'm actually looking at a longer period of time than just like half the month. This is for the last couple of weeks in July, but this may be some theme that carries out into August. I have done your horoscope for August, so please check my channel if you're interested in that for more information on the transits. The heart of the matter is the Devil card, and the Devil card, I was going to say the Devil card gets a bad rap, but there is kind of a good reason for it. It's interesting. The Devil card is connected to the planet Saturn, and therefore it's connected to Capricorn. But guess what, Aquarius? You are co-ruled by Saturn. And doesn't Saturn sound like Satan? So, and even that on his head, that pentacle is like the earth pentacles that you see right here that are, the 8 of Pentacles is right here. But anyway, you know what I love? This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, and I love those hooves that are on fire. I think that's like the cutest thing. But anyway, the Devil card is a card about the ties that bind you, or the bondage that you feel, or that you might possibly feel connected to the temptation to stay in a job that either you don't resonate with anymore, or it just like, when I say resonate with, I mean like ethically and that kind of thing, or you're just bored with it and you don't feel like there's growth happening, but the money's really good. And this, or a relationship where, and it could just be even like a dating thing. It might not be that you're married, but some kind of connection with another person, and it's more of a sex thing. It's more of a lust than a love thing. And how does that keep you trapped? In the past position, we have the 8 of Pentacles. This is a card of kind of like, I would say, getting your ducks in a row financially, in terms of, I mean, I actually think this is a brilliant depiction of the 8 of Pentacles, although this deck, like some decks, is not necessarily going to be that easy for a novice to interpret, because it's more abstract. But really, the 8 of Pentacles can be really good for money manifestation, but it's actually that you're working for it and you are diligent. You're bringing your A game, and maybe even training for something. So I feel like the temptation might be that you trained for something that you just are not into, or you don't feel is really indicative of what you want. And by the way, I was going to say that the Buddhists have something called right livelihood, which means that there are certain things that they would deem inappropriate to do because they find them harmful to society. And so whether or not they are legally allowed is not the point. It's that it still is detrimental to society. And it's called right livelihood. So it could be something like that if you're having a spiritual awakening, but it might just simply be that you don't feel like you are stretching or growing, and that alone is causing you to feel that it's time to move on, but you feel trapped about it. The higher message is the World card, and you are going to have a full moon in your sign on August 19th. It might be a day later in some parts of the world. The World card can be a card of, this is the last card of the major arcana. It can be a card of something like graduating. Graduating can be literal if you're talking about college, but it can also be in terms of a person who is going through some kind of phase that this is the end of an era. This is the end of a chapter in the person's life, and making that very clear to the person so that they know that it is really okay to move on. In some cases, this can even be a marriage or the equivalent type of relationship. And the Devil card could be, you have a nice lifestyle, and if you were to leave, you would go back to a studio apartment, and maybe you wouldn't be living as large. And this is just my personal feeling, there's no substitute for happiness. Material gains at the expense of your happiness, peace of mind, it's not even close. So, really think philosophically about it. What's coming in is the Five of Swords. And, oh yeah, and there's one more thing that I want to mention as a possibility, as an actual possibility, because when I see the Five of Swords, this is another illustration that you'd be like, what the actual F is this? I mean, these are like worms or something, like, where is this coming from? But the Five of Swords can be a card of treachery with people in your life behind the scenes. Maybe somebody's bad-mouthing you to others, or people are gossiping about you. But I sometimes say that with the Devil card, this could be someone who is a narcissist, or they're on the narcissistic spectrum. And if you know anything about narcissism, there's something called the narcissistic smear, when a narcissist will go to people in the life that you share, and let's say you have broken up with that person, they will go and they will badmouth you. You're the cause of the breakup, even if they're lying completely about it. They will blame you. You're the bad guy. And some people will believe it, or they'll want to believe it. Because maybe they're envious of you or whatever. So it could be saying, watch your back, because somebody could be setting you up for a fall. And this can also be a boss, a former boss. If you are leaving someplace, maybe you had a boss who was a narcissist, who didn't give a damn about anyone other than his own bottom line or himself. And he may have even used manipulative tactics. Who knows what kind of things this person did. this person may have poisoned the well with other people in your industry. So you go out there and either you can't get hired by a competitor, or your name is mud in the industry because that person has kind of trashed you. This can also be in your private life with somebody who you have dated, or maybe you were married to, and those kinds of situations are just showing you that this relationship might truly be over, even if you had held out hopes that you could salvage it. And that this person might be, I was going to say Satan's spawn, but maybe that's a little bit too harsh. But yeah, sometimes, and one of the things that, if you ever get into a situation where someone repeats lies about you and acts like they're true, you have the right to set the record straight. But what you don't want to do, in my opinion, is further the drama. It is so tempting and it's so hard to show restraint, because you might be pissed off royally if somebody is lying about you, or even if they're telling the truth, they're saying some embarrassing things about you to kind of, humiliate you. And the temptation can be to kind of like get them back and be vengeful. But first of all, you don't want to keep it going, so it's tit for tat. And maybe that's exactly what they want to do, is they want to draw you out. They want to lower you, that you're saying nasty things about them and feeling justified because of what they said about you. I mean, it's a perfectly understandable thing that you would want to do, but it doesn't necessarily lead to anything good. So the better option can be to simply take the high road and correct that person and what they said, and you don't have to call them a liar or anything. You can just say, no, actually, this is how it went. And that way you don't feel like you are under the thumb of someone who has no regard for you because they're willing to do something like that. The outcome is a Tower. Something's got to give. There might be this feeling that the pressure is on. Like I said, you're going to have, or I hope I said that you're going to have a full moon in your sign August 19th. And that might actually be when this is most relevant. Although I will say that the blue moon on July 21st will be in your 12th house. So that could bring out some kind of secret, something that was hidden that somebody, or even you, because this is your 12th house, that you may inadvertently blurt out, even if you were supposed to keep a secret or whatnot. So just keep that in mind. So it could be high drama, but it's like lancing a boil. Once you do it, it can be gross and painful in the process, but then you can feel this sense of relief, because it's not like all tense and in this, and painful in this zit form, but all of a sudden it's like you feel like everything has been purged. And this is, if you have been kind of trying to practice detachment, make sure that you don't get triggered into anger. I don't think that the Tower specifically is connected to anger, but anything that kind of is like a powder keg, I definitely associate with the Tower. So keep your feelings, especially if they are difficult, keep them freely flowing by expressing them in the moment, if at all possible, if you're not too emotional, so that you can feel that sense of having gotten it out. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, please click the link below for my astrological and tarot readings that I offer. Take care. Bye.